The Hawk Fire in northern Nevada continues to threaten communities on the northwest edge of Reno, even as firefighters make important progress in containing the blaze. The human-caused wildfire began late Saturday morning, August 22, near Peavine Mountain and the Sierra foothills in Washoe County. Within hours, strong winds, low humidity, dry vegetation, and difficult terrain helped the fire spread rapidly toward populated areas. By August 24, the fire had burned approximately 15,051 acres, an area covering roughly 23 to 24 square miles. Containment had reached 27%, with some of the most significant progress reported along the southern edge of the fire near Somerset. But officials are warning that the danger is far from over. Fire commanders say the next 48 hours could bring continued active fire behavior as hot, dry, and breezy weather combines with critically dry fuels. In some areas, firefighters could still face moderate to high-intensity runs, particularly where wind, terrain, and dense vegetation come together. The fire was first reported at around 11:15 to 11:23 a.m. local time on Saturday near the Hawk Meadow Trail area west-northwest of Reno. The blaze quickly demonstrated how dangerous wildfire conditions can become when dry fuels and strong winds align. Early in the incident, containment stood at 0%. Flames made rapid runs, spotting occurred ahead of the main fire, and steep or mountainous terrain complicated firefighting operations. Crews have since been able to establish and strengthen containment lines in several critical sectors. One of the most important areas of progress has been south of the fire near Somerset. Firefighters have used hand lines, dozer lines, water, and large amounts of retardant to slow the fire and protect nearby neighborhoods. Aerial resources, including helicopters, have also supported ground operations. Incident commanders say fire behavior in some sectors was less extreme than initially feared, giving crews an opportunity to hold established lines and reposition resources where they were needed most. The strategy has focused on keeping the fire east of Dog Valley Road and south of U.S. Highway 395, while protecting communities, flatter terrain, and important infrastructure. However, firefighters are still dealing with an uncontained perimeter stretching across dry and rugged country. Weather remains the biggest concern. Forecasters and fire officials expect temperatures to remain elevated, humidity to stay low, and afternoon winds to continue affecting the fire. Seasonal southwest winds could push flames into additional areas of dry grass, brush, and timber. Officials have warned that the fire could spread toward the northeast or northwest if wind direction, topography, and fuel conditions align. There is also concern about thunderstorms. Even when rainfall is limited, lightning and sudden thunderstorm outflow winds can create dangerous and unpredictable conditions for firefighters. That means a quieter period does not necessarily mean the fire is safe. For residents in evacuation zones, authorities continue to emphasize preparedness and close attention to official instructions. At the height of the emergency, roughly 90,000 people were affected by evacuation orders and warnings. That included approximately 42,000 people under immediate go-now orders and another 45,000 under get-set warnings. As firefighters gained ground, those numbers fell significantly. By Monday afternoon, approximately 23,000 people remained under mandatory go-now evacuation orders, while about 40,000 remained under get-set warnings. Some residents instead, portions of the North Valleys, and parts of Somerset were allowed to return home. But officials stress that re-entry decisions are being made carefully. A reduction in evacuation zones does not mean the overall wildfire threat has disappeared. Before residents can safely return, authorities must consider fire conditions, roads, utilities, structural damage, and other hazards. The human impact of the fire is already significant. At least 32 homes had been confirmed destroyed, with another 6 reported damaged in early assessments. Officials caution that those numbers are expected to increase as crews gain access to additional burned areas and complete more detailed inspections. 3 emergency responders suffered burns during initial firefighting operations. 3 or 4 civilians were also reported injured. Fortunately, all reported injuries were described as minor. Search and rescue canine teams also searched affected areas and, according to officials, found no indications of fatalities. For families who have lost homes or been forced to evacuate, However, the uncertainty remains difficult. Shelters have been opened for displaced residents, including the Reno Sparks Convention Center, where hundreds of people were being accommodated during the emergency. Earlier reports indicated that more than 465 people had been staying at shelters, with others sheltering in vehicles or elsewhere. The fire has also disrupted daily life across Washoe County. Schools across much of the county were closed. U.S. Highway 395, an important transportation route through the region, was temporarily shut down before reopening in both directions Monday. Local roads, trails, and forest areas have also faced closures or restrictions. Power outages have added another challenge. NV Energy reported roughly 10,000 customers without electricity, particularly in the North Valleys. The firefighting response has become a major multi-agency operation. Unified Command includes the U.S. Forest Service, Reno Fire, and Truckee Meadows Fire Protection District. Hundreds of firefighters and support personnel have been mobilized, with reports placing the total workforce in the range of 800 to 900 people. Resources have arrived from across Nevada and from other states through mutual aid agreements. International crews from Australia and New Zealand have also joined the response. At peak reporting, the operation included roughly 14 crews, nearly 100 engines, about 10 helicopters, and multiple bulldozers. The Nevada National Guard has also provided helicopters, personnel, and security support. Firefighters are working both directly against the flames and indirectly by constructing and reinforcing containment lines ahead of the fire. They are also protecting critical infrastructure, including a natural gas line located within the fire area. Nevada Governor Joe Lombardo declared a state of emergency in Washoe County as the situation intensified. Federal assistance has also been authorized through FEMA Region 9. Authorities say resources have been heavily prioritized for the Hawk Fire because of its proximity to a major population center and the potential consequences of a large wildfire entering suburban neighborhoods. The cause of the fire has been determined to be human, although investigators have not publicly released further details about how it started or whether the action was accidental or intentional. The Hawk Fire is a reminder of how quickly conditions can change across the American West. In Nevada, dry vegetation, invasive grasses, brush, timber, heat, and strong winds can combine to create explosive wildfire conditions. When those conditions exist near densely populated communities, the challenge becomes more than simply stopping the flames. Firefighters must simultaneously protect homes, evacuate residents, maintain transportation routes, safeguard utilities, and keep crews out of rapidly changing danger zones. For now, there are signs of progress. Containment has increased. Some evacuation areas have been reduced. Highway 395 has reopened. Firefighters have managed to hold important lines in several sectors. But the fire is not contained, and the next 48 hours remain critical. More than two-thirds of the perimeter remains outside established containment. Dry fuels remain available to burn, and changing winds or thunderstorm outflows could quickly alter the situation. Residents who remain in evacuation or warning zones should stay prepared to leave if conditions change. Officials are urging people to rely on current information from emergency management agencies and official fire sources rather than rumors or outdated social media posts. For the latest evacuation zones, residents should monitor official Washoe County emergency alerts and perimeter map updates. INCIWeb and the Hawk Fire Information Line are also important sources for operational information. The Hawk Fire has already destroyed homes, displaced thousands of people, and placed hundreds of emergency personnel on the front lines. And while firefighters are making meaningful progress, the story is still unfolding. Over the coming days, crews will continue strengthening containment lines, mopping up hotspots, protecting communities and infrastructure, and assessing damage in areas that have already burned. For everyone watching this fire from nearby communities, the most important message is simple. Progress does not yet mean the danger is over. The next 48 hours will be closely watched as firefighters work to turn hard-earned containment into a secure perimeter and keep the Hawk Fire from threatening even more homes and lives. Stay informed, follow evacuation instructions, and avoid closed or active fire areas. In a rapidly changing wildfire, timely information can make all the difference.